Okay, I think it might be better now. I can't see. Hold on. So, okay. I just put a song on. Is back up? Are we on the air? Okay. Because, honey, it was acting up. It was pissing me off. It just kept saying reconnecting. I don't like that. All right, let's go. Hopefully, hold on. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let me read the astrological stuff. Okay, so today, oh shoot, no. Damn, that was yesterday. Okay, so tomorrow Mars goes into Virgo. Um Perfectionism up may trip us up over the next several weeks as the warrior planet moves into modest Virgo. While it's easy to fall into self-criticism and obsess over flaws, we'll be better focusing on uplifting ourselves. That is an ideal time. This is an ideal time to connect with our bodies and prioritize self care. Working out, scheduling doctor's appointments, and consulting with wellness coaches. Also on the 18th, Jupiter and Cancer squares Neptune and Aries. This aspect can lead to a crisis of faith as our reality may not match our dreams or ideals. A significant okay. A significant disappointment or setback might leave you questioning everything. Be cautious about placing your trust in others today. This is what I meant when I said, do not be out here asking why. I told you just get through this week. Everything works out. Literally. Everything works out. All right? I need you to understand that everything works out. Okay? Please. Um, so that happens on what's today? Wednesday. That actually happens on that day. I think on that day, with the Jupiter and Cancer energy, like I was telling you guys, Jupiter wants you to expand being nurtured. I think so many people are seeking nurturing. It's you can't seek nurturing. All right. If you're going to seek nurturing, you have to seek it through self and allow those to be a reflection of how you nurture yourself. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. If you relax this week and you realize that you're in shallow water and just stand up, you won't be overly emotional or be emotionally irrational about things that are not that deep. Okay. Be high and mighty this week. All right. High and mighty. Okay. Because on the 20th of Fridays, the sun enters Cancer. It is the summer solstice energy. This is the shift that we're all feeling, that summer is here, the heat is on, it's time to go. This is where, what I always say, thigh tats are activated, baby. Time to show that thigh tat. Celebrate the longest day of the year with your loved ones. It's an ideal time for a backyard barbecue or pool party. As the sun shines in Cancer for the next 4 weeks, will feel imaginative and compassionate, though emotions may run deep, leading to moments of moodiness. Cancers are very moody, but it's not even that I think sometimes cancers feel too much for their own good, and because I have cancer in my chart, I feel like I be feeling stuff too much for my own good that I really shouldn't give a fuck about. Really shouldn't give a fuck about. Calm down. Okay. On the 22nd, oh, the 22nd is next Sunday. Let's talk about it. There's only 2 events happening, so we'll just talk about it. Mars in Virgo sextile Jupiter in Cancer. This bold aspect empowers us with the courage to move forward in our lives. Harness this energy to tackle challenges, tasks, And success is achievable if you take a risk. Trust yourself. Actions. Once again, that's Mars and Virgo, sextile, and Jupiter and Cancer. Everything that I explained in the first live. Okay. Also on the 22nd, the Sun in Cancer squares Saturn in Aries. This restrictive aspect can feel burdensome due to the overwhelming duties and responsibilities. Meeting your obligations is important, as slacking off can lead to extra challenges and tension. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You don't realize that you're being nurtured. You don't realize you're being poured into. So when you don't realize these things based off your inability to receive things, you normally are like, one thing I always say about me as an Aries, sometimes if I don't have a creative outlet, I'll get myself in trouble. I'll download dating apps. I'll just go out, be random. I just do random shit because I don't have a creative outlet to pour my energy, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm bored. So it's like, you need to make sure you collectively understanding that boredom doesn't mean that you dip into unresolved issues or you bring up things that don't make sense. So this is when I'm trying to tell you that your mind is mush. It's because of the fact that it's being based off of some old paradigm that doesn't even fucking exist. Okay? Sounds crazy until we experience it. Once again, Emperor energy. Very powerful, very much so Saturn in Aries, very much so you got one time to fuck up. Life is not hard. Please don't make it that way. You know, I told you Saturn in Aries admires your authenticity, the way that you place it. So therefore, you trying to tweak your authenticity or tweak what's natural to you will only cause you more harm than justice. I see it every day. All right, let's see what else. And then let's end off with, we have a new moon in Cancer. Okay, we'll get to that later. We'll end off on another Monday because that will be a week from now. On the 23rd, the Sun in Cancer squares Neptune and Aries. Once again with the Emperor coming out. It says we're battling the odds today, as this harsh aspect can lead to confusion and disappointment. Competition make you feel insecure and stressed. Don't let them see you sweat. It's so funny that anytime that there's a square. So when the planets square, I always take it like a hold down. Is that the right way to explain? Let me make sure I'm explaining that right, because it might not be as intense as I'm making it seem. Hold on. No, it is. That's what I thought. It's a hold down. So a square aspect in a chart, it says which occurs when two planets are 90 degrees. So when I say hold down, like, okay, so 360 is a full circle, right? So basically 90 degrees is a fourth. So instead of it being like they're at a disadvantage because they're only getting a fourth of the actual full energy or the full problem or issue, whatever. They're only getting a fourth. Okay. So what that causes them is that it challenges them, but there's room to grow because we're only at a fourth. So if we can get the energy at a 180, that means we can make a full change, right? Because if you go all the way back around, you start where you go back to where you started. All right. So I want you to take any time and I want you all to take the energy of this week. I want you to look at it like you only know a fourth of it. So if you only know a fourth, you can't necessarily do anything but grow. You know what I'm saying? So you can at least get half of it. Half is better than a fourth. And if you guys can come to a 50-50 energy between water and fire, then you will find a perfect balance of warm, hot water. Does that make sense? If the water's too hot, then it will boil and then it will evaporate. If there's too much water over a fire, that means the fire would not be put out. You're gonna have to find the equal of this week. That's why I said it's just make it through this week. It's really not that bad. Just calm the fuck down. Okay? You have more help than you have things hindering you this week. That's why I said stop questioning why this is going this way, why this happened, why this. You asking why is the reason that you're going against very powerful forward moving energy. Like literally, I'm telling you, the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups have conversation. So think about the earthy part of you that's planting seeds, that's about the money and all these things, having a conversation with your emotions. Never once did the productive, the investing part of you ask the emotion part of you, well, why do you feel like happiness when we create something? Why the fuck would they ask them that? Because of the fact of asking yourself, why do you get so happy when you create, is literally against you being creative. Now that creates insecurities. You having insecurities about what you create creates stagnancy. You creating stagnancy creates a issue in the energy. You creating the issue with the energy means that things can't flow. If Jupiter is in a water sign, that's all it's going to continue to do is flow. Jupiter does not expand things that it won't come back to. That's something I need y'all to understand. You will constantly have these meetings with Jupiter because Jupiter is something that continuously expands. So many people think that Jupiter is just this planet that just drops this gift off and it's just like, hey, here you go. I'll see you later. Good job. No, Jupiter drops a gift off. I'm going to give y'all a prime example. It's like winning the lottery. That's what Jupiter is. Jupiter, the prime example of people who win the lottery. They go, they play a ticket, they win. Jupiter gave them the gift of the money. But now that Jupiter gave them the gift of the money, now what did it do? It helped them expand their knowledge on how people treat them now that they have money. It helped them expand their knowledge of how the government taxes. It expand their knowledge of how, you know what I'm saying, how they see themselves. What do they see themselves with? What without? It expands everything. So what I'm trying to tell you is the fact of that anything that you are investing in, and in this week, I want you to understand that you're going to come back to this conversation. Okay? You're going to come back to the conversation. Whatever you is being presented to you will come back for an additional conversation. Literally. It will come back with an additional conversation. You get, you know what I'm saying? Y'all have this talk or whatever and everything's cool. It comes back with a confirmation like, hey, just want to let you know that's nothing, water under the bridge. We're good to go. Now, the next thing is they're like, okay, we want you to come in and we want you to talk to you about this next opportunity that we have for you. There is nothing that is going to be given to you that is just like, this is it, conversation done. No, you're going to come back and visit it. If you put up a new boundary this week, it's going to come back to be revisited, whether somebody presses the boundary, somebody honestly starts to respect the boundary and they start to just acknowledge the boundary. I don't care if it's money, it comes back up. It's like they give you $500 and they be like, hold this for a second. And then they come back and be like, hey, so let's now discuss what we're going to do with this investment. Anything that you are given this week is going to come back up. It's not a bad thing. Not everything that comes back up is a bad thing. Because once again, it comes back. I ain't even look. If it's only 4 people in here and it's 10 cups, don't you think they gotta come back and fill up more cups? If it's 6 of Pentacles and he putting stuff in their hand, he gotta put more. He gotta come back and say something. It comes back up. Anything new, it comes back up. I think another thing is the factor that people want to come back up, but we're gonna say that news for another day, because I do feel that energy tremendously. Because with Mars being in Virgo, people's actions are oriented based off of what they are analyzing and what they've been researching. I told you they've been studying it. So people they're studying your mannerisms, they're studying your reactions, they're studying your thought, they're studying your patterns. So if people are studying your patterns and the pattern goes off the course a little bit, that means what do they have to do? Come back to understand What's this new pattern? What's this new energy shift with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, so just know anything that is being given, whether you're dishing it out or somebody dishing it back to you, it'll come back up. This that energy that don't leave you alone. It comes right back. Remember I told you about that mental conflict? Your mind is a sponge. Be don't even beware of chaos. People literally fighting and ain't doing shit. People fighting ain't doing shit. Introspection. They are observing. People are being very their observation skills are very much so there. The Five of Wands is definitely chaos amongst people. But when I think wands, I think of actions. A lot of people's actions are just chaotic. And I think because a lot of the boundaries people are placing, like, you know what I also see? As if this was like different parts of you and everybody, the stick of the boundaries are like, no, you can't break this one. You can't break this one. You can't break this one. And this is coming based off of what you have observed of yourself and what other people are observing of you. 5 is a number of change. Wands have to do with action. I think a lot of people's action right now are throwing people off course, and they need time to dissect. They need time to study this new pattern of yours. If you calm down this week, there won't be nothing that anybody can pick up on. Because Cancer energy is it always, I'm telling you, so many cancers are always asked, like, well, why do people, like Cancer women, I used to just always look at them and be like, why do they always got a man around them? Because they exude a certain feminine energy. And it's not to necessarily say like, in that way, but they're just always being poured into, whether their kids are loving on them or their families, or even with Cancer men. Cancer men are big babies. They're literally babies. Like, there's a lot of maternal energy with the Cancers. So, it's like this week, your patterns change, your mannerisms change, things change. It's causing chaos, and people need to know. They need to study. They need to figure it out. They need to. If you look at like what's going on in the world, that's exactly how the world looks right now. Things are shifting, and people want to know why. TikTok's algorithm start doing some crazy shit. Everybody's like, is this happening to you? Is this happening to you? What's going on? Am I the only one? Because a pattern has changed. I'm trying to tell you, there's a pattern change that is going on. Just let the pattern take its course. Let the pattern take its course. However you move and you maneuver this week, just let it take its course. Last week was all about letting nature, let nature take its course. And this week, the same thing. But see, nature taking its course was everything around you. This week is everything in you. It's your pattern, your mannerisms, just your everyday thing, your everyday emotions, the way you process your thoughts. All of that shit is now just, it's going with the flow. And you're being studied. So indications of being studied. Be aware of feeling like people are watching you. They are. People see you. Keep going about your day. Okay? Keep your house clean. Cleanliness is next to godliness. I don't even mean that to be in no type of symbolic way. I'm serious. Keeping your house clean, keeping your space clean. Even if you don't have everything folded and everything into a T, it need to be organized. It need to be put up. You know what I'm saying? You need to wipe the floors down, mop, sweep, wipe things down, keep the dishes out the dishwasher, put things back. If you got things out, you know what I'm saying? Before you go to sleep, before you leave the house, just try to find some order in things. It will help you because negative energy loves chaos. It loves mess. Okay? If you start cleaning up your energy, that's because your mind is being cleaned up. Cleanliness is definitely like a mind thing. Seriously. Like, if there's too many people around, that's why I'm overstimulated, because my mind is now in overdrive of what's going on, my surroundings. Once things are cleaned up and there's some organization, there's some structure there, the mind is clear. So if you keep your car clean, Just constantly be cleaning out things. I'm trying to tell you, negative energy cleans to mess. So if you keep things clean, shower, wash your feet, wash your hair, you know what I'm saying? Keep washing your hands, germs. Like, I know this is it's so elementary school, but it's so symbolic of the energy because of the fact of negative energy loves mess. So if the floor is clean, if your dishes is done, you know what I'm saying, your bathroom clean, it ain't got to be perfect, but you need to be cleaning up. You need to keep it clean, keep it organized. Seriously, that shit is, y'all don't think that shit go hand in hand with your mind, but it does. It goes hand in hand with your mental and spiritual abilities. That's why if you go somewhere, you come back and you instantly feel the energy to clean up, it's because something wants to come in. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you gotta be in a receptive energy. God do not want to bless you in no mess. So therefore, clean it up so he can bring it in. Keep it clean so he can keep bringing it in. Follow the five senses of your hearing, taste, touch, smell, see. When you utilize these five things in your everyday life, you are vibrating at a very high frequency. I don't think people, because investing in yourself means you're investing in your frequency. When you look good, you feel good, you smell good, everything. You taste good, everything. You sound good. Okay? If people are studying you, they're studying you based off of how much you invest in those five senses. Hey, boo. If you invest in those five senses, you'll realize that people are studying you. You walk into somewhere, somebody says, you smell really good. Thank you. Oh, you look cute. Thank you. Those come based off of how you nurture those five senses. This week, that's that energy. If the planets are squaring, hello, thank you. If the planets are squaring, that means that's only a fourth of the information. You don't have it all. Therefore, there's a 75% chance you could be wrong. So if you just stick with the fourth that you know, which is keeping the five senses of you together and also keeping your energy clean, when you find out the other half, you'll be perfectly fine, whichever way it go. But once you know that you done completed your fourth, you know what you'll realize is that everything will always work out in your favor. I got a checklist for when shit going on in my life. If I feel like, you know what I'm saying, if I start feeling like a little bit of animosity, you know what I'm saying, lack mentality, I look what's going on in her life. Is everything clean? Did I clean up before I left the house? Did I leave it dirty? You know what I'm saying? Did I take a shower? You know, I think about these things. I do. Did I take a shower in the morning, at the nighttime? Have I washed my hair in a couple of weeks? I think when energy starts to feel wonky, you need to start having a checklist. It'll help you. If I start feeling weird throughout the day, I'd be like, damn, I ain't take no shower this morning. I took a shower last night, and you know what I'm saying, I just been around the house or whatever. I said, some energy trying to stay on to me. Let me go take a shower. 2 weeks done passed. I started getting very irritable, a lot of mind fog, a lot of like just irritation of the mind. Damn, I probably need to go wash my hair. Yeah. You start feeling a lack mindset. You start feeling broke, poor. I bet you something need to be cleaned around there. You start being distracted. I bet you something needs to be cleaned around your home. Look, don't say I didn't tell you so. Once again, wands, 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 wands. And then you remember last week that I kept telling y'all about somebody trying to extend the olive branch? Actually, that was like 3 days ago. Hold on. Yes. Baby, you don't just have the baby and then you just walk. This was on the 12th. What happened on the... That was after the full moon in Sagittarius. Yeah. Fire energy, wand energy. Extending the olive branch still keeps coming out. See again. And then you know so crazy, you know, this is what I was thinking of. I was thinking of the page of wands and the five of wands is six of wands, and then the six of wands comes out. Once again, a hand, an olive branch. There's an extension of an olive branch. And that somebody looked that up. And to extend an olive branch, the meaning of extending an olive branch to someone is to mean to offer a gesture of peace or reconciliation, particularly after a disagreement or conflict. Conflict. It implies willingness to set aside past grievances and rebuild a relationship. It's a sign of peace. It says the origin phrase is believed to originate from the biblical story of Noah's Ark, where a dove returned with an olive branch after the great flood, signifying the end of the divine wrath and the start of a new beginning. Olive branch, olive branch, olive branch. You know, I think it starts with an olive branch of who you believe in. You know, not everybody believes in the same thing. I think it's gonna start with an olive branch because you know everything happens spiritually before it happens physical. I think an olive branch will be given spiritually, and then there's a physical olive branch because one of the astrological events says a disappointment and be careful who you trust. It's an olive branch, like somebody being like a we're just gonna take care of it. Don't say nothing. You know, I don't know if anybody's ever been in that situation to where like somebody look out for you and both of y'all know what's going on, but y'all might, you know, like example, let's say, you know, you in trouble or whatever, you know, so people think that you're in trouble with your parents, but in reality, your parents don't give a fuck, but they want the people to think that they disciplined you type shit. That's what this week gives me. Like you thinking you in some shit whole time you don't have nothing to worry about. I think the olive branch is extended spiritually before it's extended physically. Because the only way you'll be able to accept this and be victorious is if you're made aware of it through spirit. Yeah. It's like how people feel when God put them in isolation. They be feeling like God, it's just how, yeah, like it literally feel like how people feel in isolation. Oh, oh God punishing me, he taking me out. I can't do nothing. I can't go nowhere. Everybody outside having fun. Whole time, you know what I'm saying? People thinking you down bad. You out here going through the whole time. You preparing for a glow up. You preparing for something better. You see what I'm saying? So it's that type of energy to me this week. If you can please shout out, baby, I don't even know what it is. I don't know. I just keep hearing that. So just be prepared. Be prepared, okay? All right, part 1 is uploading. Part 1 is uploading. You know, I think I want to do a mini video on Patreon that I'm going to record and then I'm going to post to Patreon. No, I'm going to post on YouTube for Patreon. So, all right. This is it. I love you guys. Toodles.